Yes, we're packing pretty heavy. Going with the Benjamite. No one in the parking lot hardly. Usually it's packed all summer, but we're going to be bushwhacking back in there, 0.6 miles to do some bear hunting, and we're taking you along with us. Okay, so I'm going to set up camp here. Notice I'm not talking too loud. We've hit the edge of the swamp. Nice and cushy bed material right here. There's the Benjamite. We're going to do a little scouting. Okay, we got camp set up. Ben's got his luxury suite over here. I got my usual setup. We're going to do some scouting. Head north and do some scouting. And head back to camp for tonight. Okay. This is not far from our camp. Just followed the water down 30 years ago. Statute of limitations. I know now you're not supposed to break beaver dams, but we broke that dam. There's no beavers here. Like 32 years ago, and this was one big marsh meadow. And now, of course, there's active beaver activity in here. And who knows what else. Beautiful fall colors. Okay, just a touch of morning hunting. There's not much sign around here, so we decided we're going to break camp and head to another area. And get out of Dodge. The weather's supposed to change tomorrow, so we're going to go to a campsite if they're open. We're betting they are, because not many people want to camp in this weather. But go to a campsite where we can camp right next to the vehicle and then do a lot of hunting from there. How'd you sleep, Ben?
Alright, for sleeping. And a windstorm?
Yeah. Yeah, here we are on the side of the mountain where it's not supposed to be as windy, and it was windy last night. I thought it was snowing at one point, but we thought it was raining, but most of it was those pine needles, spruce needles coming down on the tent. Ben's trying out his 22 on a red squirrel. There's no one for miles, so. Here's some of the hiking here. You guys get a little glimpse of it. Ben's flying ahead. Trying to go at my pace because I'm old. Beaver pond back there, headed back to the car. Beautiful sunny day. I get winded pretty good when I go up these little inclines. There's Ben, being patient with the old man. So we found a real remote designated site. We can camp right next to the vehicle, and there's a swamps around here we can hunt, and there's a nice little trail going to the swamp, and there's a trail that goes miles and miles and miles down there. We can explore and hunt and just leave everything here. So just exploring for possibilities of bear hunting. It takes years to figure out what's going on when it comes to hunting, of course. Deer hunting, finding the deer patterns, all that. You can't just sit in a tree stand anywhere. And bears are going to be something, there's a code you got to crack for bears. Michelle texted me the weather forecast. Of course, no cell range. No cell. We're gonna Ben did some hunting by this little pond this morning. He did some hardcore hunting this morning. He heard some animal moaning. We couldn't figure out what it was, but so we're gonna bacon up and got some breakfast right here, and then we're gonna head up the hill, pack some lunch. The weather's supposed to be good till 3 p.m. We're gonna do a day pack thing and just take off, and we might go as far as 3 miles away to this pond and hit up a couple open areas and do predator calling along the way. I heard a pack of coyotes in that direction first thing this morning, but it was a ways away. So we'll do, if a coyote comes in, which is legal, or a bear, we're gonna pop them, right?
And this is making breakfast. This is baiting. We're doing it in camp.
Yeah.
Baiting.
Yeah. Especially when we're loud. Nothing's gonna come when we're loud, but
we're totally not making camp and making a bunch of food and then gonna leave and hope the bear comes in.
In fact, look at that bacon smoke going that way. Maybe I should try my predator call. Just kidding. Just kidding. So on this day trip we're taking, I'm bring 2 quarts of water, but I'm going to bring it so we can make water, the purifier. But also on the day pack here, of course, toilet paper, emergency sleeping bag, lots of fire starter in case of emergency. Of course, knife, tons of lighters, everything. Heating pad, warmers, just in case something happens and we're way out and we need to wait for. And of course, I got the Garmin GPS that has a SOS on there. We can do all the tracking and everything. So to be safe out here, because I'll show you the signs later, but this is wilderness area. No signal and very difficult rescue. Not getting out of here easy. buddy. Just 4 feet away from the guy. We'll try trout fishing here later, but for now we're going to set up and do some predator calling at this first spot. We got the tamaracks changing there. Just beautiful when they turn bright yellow. When I was flying over Siberia, they had lurch or whatever they call it there, just endless out any window forever. It was a beautiful day, and all you could see was yellow for hundreds and hundreds of miles in every direction. Ben's doing a predator call. Remote classification. This goes on for many, many miles south. Scouted yesterday and see if we can get something to come in. The wind is pretty much dead, so that helps. There's an old cabin foundation up the road, just a bit right up the trail. There's no roads here anymore, but there were old roads back in the day. This is X-Hunt, on X-Hunt. He's tracking. You could download topos and everything. He's got a trail marked. Like if you drop a deer, you can mark the spot and come back for it. Good stuff. Just like no cell reception for probably about here. We're not going to get cell reception for